I started an opportunity for me, for my body, the 31st of May 2019, last year. And there is a story before. I was very ill. I had a lot of diseases and illnesses in my body. And problem was that no doctor could help me. And I was using a lot of pills. I used 9 pills a day for at least 25 years. In 25 years, it was unbelievable. It was worse and getting worse and getting worse every year. And every year, there was more medicines and more pills and treatments in hospitals. In the early years, I had 3 heart attacks. I had 1 stroke, and I had fibromyalgia for at least 25 years. A lot of pain all over my body. I had also sleep apnea. I had also chronic fatigue for many, many years. When I start and wake up in the morning, I have to wake up at least for 2 hours. I had always clouds in my head and pain all over my body. I was very tired. The chronic fatigue was unbelievable. I was sitting in a wheelchair. I had also crutches. I had pain in my legs. I couldn't walk properly. So I had also kidney problems and a fatty liver. And I had type 2 diabetes. One of the things was also I had cornea transplants, and they failed twice. And I had pumps in my eye were dying, and the prediction was, if we don't do a surgery for you, you can be blind in a few years. So my situation was very bad. I was a sales trainer and also an internet marketer, and I was not able to do that any longer. Right. So I had to quit in April 2019. I couldn't see the screen. Now I can see you. But a little over a year ago, I was not able to see a lot of things. I couldn't drive by myself because my vision went from 70% to 30% after surgery, and it failed. And I had to wait for 1 year before the second surgery. And it failed again. And I had blisters on my eye, and they were bursting, and I had a lot of pain. It was unbelievable. So I asked my doctor with my wife, Mieke is my wife, I asked them, please, can you cut off my legs because of the pain? I had such pain in my body, I couldn't stand it any longer. So I asked the doctor, can you cut off my legs? And he said, you're crazy. I said, why? I said, I can live with artificial legs, but I can't live with the pain anymore. And that was the situation. And I was going to the hospital 13 times a week for treatment for the stroke. Yeah. I had a lot of issues. I couldn't walk, I couldn't swallow was a problem, walking was a problem. There was a lot of issues in my body. So 13 times a week, I had to go to the hospital and by cab, taxi. I had a permit to go to the hospital from the health insurance company in Holland. And every time there was a taxi driver and asked me to come inside the cab. He brought me to the hospital and back. That was my life. In May, 15th of May, a specialist gave me a telephone call and he said to me, Mr. Cornelissen, we can't do anything for you. It is what it is. You have to get used to it, that you have to use a scooter mobile. So we had an argue with my wife and she said to me, you have to look for a solution, because I was working in a daycare center, my wife, for 3 or 4 days sometimes. And she said, it's heavy to do that. And when I am free in my spare time, I have to do everything for you as a caretaker. And she loves to do that, no problem. But it was very heavy for her. It was tough for her. And I was waiting. And when I want to go to the barber, I have to wait for my wife. And if I like to have new clothes, I have to wait for my wife. And a few days later, a friend of mine, Lode Vermeulen, is a friend in Ireland. He gave me a telephone call and he said, Christo, you are like a train wreck. I know you for many years now. And you have a lot of issues in your body. I found something, perhaps it is something for you. And are you willing to listen to me? I say, what are you talking about? And that was the first moment he told me about stem cell therapy and also about LIFEWAVE. And I couldn't believe it. I was a non-believer. I was very, very skeptical. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I watched a lot of videos, and there were a lot of good results and testimonials from other people. So I said to him, okay, let's give it a try. But it was very disappointed the first few days, because I was so excited. I was a non-believer, but I had hope. So I was skeptical, but I thought by myself, if only 10% can be true, it's worth to try it. And that was the first moment I saw just the patches. And I asked him, okay, how do I start? And he said, you have to place a patch in your neck. And I started to patching my neck. And after one day, nothing happened. The second day, nothing happened. The third day, nothing happened. The fourth day, nothing happened. And I was always calling, and I told him that nothing happened. What's going on? Everybody has a nice testimonial, and now nothing happened. And he said to me, Chris, wait. I said, after 5 days, I gave him a telephone call, and he was afraid to pick up the telephone because every day I was nagging about the product. And he said to me that I had to go ahead with the patches because there is also a 30 days, 100% money back guarantee. And in my mind, I was quitting because nothing happened. At the 5th day, I asked him, can you send me the information? I like to send it back, and I like to quit. I like to ask for a refund. And he said, you are not allowed to ask for a refund. And I said, I'm not allowed. There are 30 days money back guarantee. Yes, he said, but you are so ill, and after 5 days, you can't quit. You have to go ahead. Okay. So I started again using the product. And that was the best advice he can give me. Because the 6th day, 7th day, 8th day, in the days after that, I came out of my wheelchair. I had strength. The pain was going out of my body. And within a week, I had no wheelchair, and I had also no crutches anymore. And that was the turning point for me to believe in the product. I was watching every video, reading every article, and also the medical information about how it works and what can it do for a human body. And at that moment, I was turned around from a very skeptical guy to a believer. And after 3 weeks, it was the 20th of June last year, 2019, I did something I don't advise anybody. Don't do this at home. Don't try this at home. I quit all my medicines. I had such a belief in the products that I quit everything. And from that day on, everything changed in my life. My wife said to me, don't do that because it's dangerous. You are right, but I quit. So I was quitting. And my wife was angry about me, and she said, okay, if you like to quit, you have to go to the doctor every 2 months for a checkup. And on a regular basis, you have to do a test for your urine, your blood pressure, and your blood, of course. Blood. We have agreement. And that was the moment I quit my medicine. And 2 months after, I asked the doctor for a checkup. And she said, okay, send me the papers. And I was going to the hospital. And 5 days later, I was in the doctor's office. They called me Mr. Cornelissen. And I went into her office, and she saw that I had no wheelchair and no crutches. So she asked me, what's going on? And I told her, I explained her what was happening. And she couldn't believe it. And she was a non-believer like me at the beginning. So I asked her, are you believing in the results? Yes, I believe in results. Okay, let's check the results. So she opened my file on the computer, and she was stunned about the information and the results I got in a few months. And she couldn't believe it. And I explained to her what was going on. And I talked about LIFEWAVE. And she said, I never heard about it. So after a few minutes, she said, I can't believe, but I have to accept the facts. I've done that now several times, and the results are good, no problem. I asked her, are you satisfied about the results? And she said, yes, of course, we are very satisfied. And I said, okay, then we have a problem. I said, a problem? Everything is okay. Yes, that's the problem. And she said, why? I said, because I have for 2 months, I didn't use the medicines. And she was, what? What, you are no medicines? Yeah, for 2 months at least. She couldn't believe. And I said, it can't be. You have to be dead. She said, no, I'm still here. And now I'm over a year now without any medicine and I'm still alive. And after 4 months, I said to my wife, I can feel and I can see a little bit improvement. That was the first time I can see a little bit improvement. So I was changing. And I could see the text on the television. So I said to my wife, in my opinion, I can see a little bit more. And she said, it's really, is it true? Yes, it is. In total, in 8 months' time, my vision went from 30% till 90%. So we had the discussion also to my eye specialist, the same discussion. And I asked her, she said, hey, 90%, it can't be. I said, yes, it can be because I have a story to tell. And I show her my patch on my belly. I have now also on my belly. So that's the patch. And I show her and she never heard about it. And I talked to her and I asked her, have you ever heard about stem cell therapy? She said, yes, of course, I know. I said, this is also stem cell therapy, but it's not injections, it's patches, and it activates your own stem cells. And she said, it can't happen. It is unbelievable. It's not true. It's a fake. It can't happen. I said, but how comes that my result from my vision, my eyes, went from 30% over 8 months of periods of time to 90%. And she said, I can't explain. And I asked her, am I allowed to drive my car? She said, yes, you are. And from that point on, I drive my car. Completely, my life has changed and I can do everything. I can paint the house. I can do the garden. I can do the groceries. I can do shopping. I can do everything. I can cook and I can build also a new business and talk to a lot of people all over the world. So LIFEWAVE literally saved my life. And that's really true. Because if I was quitting at the 5th day, I had still the same situation. I was still sitting in a wheelchair with a lot of issues. And now I have a completely new life. And my wife is also very glad. Her life is also changing. And now yesterday we were walking on the beach and she said, 1 year ago, it was unbelievable. It could not happen at that moment. And within 1 year, everything has changed. My whole body is changed and my face is changed. You can see that my whole face is changed. My whole body is changed. Everything has changed. My mental state of mind is changed. The pain was leaving, and the day after I had no pain. I woke up and all my pain was gone. And the evening before it starts leaving my body, and after 6-7 hours of sleep, I woke up and normally I had clouds in my head. And that was the first time in my life that I was really awake. I had no clouds in my head anymore. And I was sitting on my bed and I was thinking, what's going on? I have no pain. Where's the pain? So I was doing this and this and I did everything. And I talked to my wife. I said, Mieke, it's unbelievable. The pain is gone. And she was making coffee. And I said to her, okay, I show you what's going on. We have stairs to the first floor. And normally I have to step one step at a time to go downstairs and upstairs. And now I was walking downstairs, no problem. And pain was gone. And in the weeks after that, everything was gone. I had no fatigue anymore. My fibromyalgia was gone. My pain in my legs was gone. My wheelchair was gone. Everything was gone. And now at this moment, a few days ago, somebody asked me, how was it living with the pain? And now I have to think, of course, I know how it was living at that period of time, but I have to think now because at this moment, I have 1 year without pain, without medication, without hospitals. I was every 3-4 times a year, I was in a hospital for several days. Last year, no hospital, only for blood and urine tests. That's the only thing. And that's unbelievable because normally everybody in the hospital, all doctors know me. And hey, How are you? Where's your wife? Oh, she's parking the car. Wait a minute, I see you. And now everybody, I don't see the arts at this moment. There is no doctor. And if you have a lot of appointments in a hospital, you are only thinking about sickness. And now I'm thinking about success, helping other people. Every day I smile. You know, I had 6 appointments in the last weekend at daytime, 3 appointments at night. I have a little sleep and I'm excited every day. My story is unbelievable. And the reason is that I can prove everything. I have also a table. I sent you all the evidence, all the pictures and the medicine on my table and the stockings, medical stockings. I have everything on my table and I have special cards and I can prove everything. And that's the reason my story is one of the best story, perhaps the best story in the whole world of LIFEWAVE. And that's the reason I talk about my testimonial with everybody. We have several patches and sometimes I hurt myself and then I use another patch because I need instant solution for my pain. And then we have IceWave or EON. Then we use that protocol. But normally I started with only the X39. And that's the only patch I have ever used on a regular basis. It's one patch and you have one sleeve, and in one sleeve there are 30 patches and you use them every day. At daytime, I patch myself and normally LIFEWAVE says it's you have to use it only for 12 hours, but I leave it on. And in the first month, I did it every morning. I changed my patch. And now, after 1 month, I was allowed to do it 1 day on, 1 day off. And then the 3rd day, I thought, I have a little bit pain. I patch myself. So I feel my body. And then when I feel a little bit inconvenience, then I patch myself. And now at this moment, after 1 year, my body is so changed that I can do in 1 week, I use only 2 patches, X39. So the time between the patching is greater, is more. And that's the reason that I can feel my body, that my body is improving every day. When I start the 31st of May, I had another face. You can see my face and also my hair. Now, you can also see sitting myself in a chair with crutches. I had also a machine for apnea, sleep apnea. Every day I was like Darth Vader. Every day, I was snoring. So I can prove everything. Sometimes people think that LIFEWAVE is paying me for telling my story, but that's not true. But you are an actor. Now, I'm not paid by LIFEWAVE to tell my story. I do it because my heart tells me that I have to do it. It's my obligation to help other people because somebody gave me my life back and gave me a chance to make a decision to start with LIFEWAVE. Sometimes I am speaking with my sponsor in LIFEWAVE, Lode Vermeulen from Ireland, and I say to him, it was so close for failure for me. I had to quit. I was quitting the 5th day and you saved my life. I said to my sponsor, you saved my life because you could have sent me the RMA code. Okay, send it back. End of story. But he didn't let me go. And he said, no, you're not allowed to quit. So I was shocked. And my mental state of mind was very poor. It was a bad condition. And he waked me up. And because of him, I'm now allowed to have a very good life for the rest of my life. And that's the reason I do this business. I can also start my old profession, going to school, give lectures, do also internet marketing stuff, helping business to have more growth and turnover in their stores. But I don't like it anymore because this is my new profession, talking to people, changing lives, and touching other people and give them a chance. And if I can do it, everybody can do it. Use my story. My story is unbelievable. You can see, we have talked about it, and it's one of a kind. And if you don't like to share my story, then you miss something because it's unbelievable what David Smith have done for his company and the whole world. David Smith is the owner of the company of LIFEWAVE, and it's so an enormous benefit for the whole world that we can now help people who suffer from pain and fatigue and illnesses. And we don't cure illnesses. I don't like to make medical claims. I only tell my story. And before I sell a product to somebody else, I say to the person, wait a minute, before you start, be aware that your body is different than my body. So it can take a little bit longer or many longer, but we have the same product, we have the same company, and we can have the same result, but it depends in time. So if you like to start, you have to make at least a commitment for yourself to do an investment. It's not spending, it is an investment in your own body and your own health for at least 3 to 5 months. And before I do business with a new person, I ask that person, are you willing to make for yourself a commitment to do that? And if he refused and he liked to do it, to test it 1 month, I don't start him up in this business. Because I know that most of the time it takes more time. When you have gained weight for over 20 years, doesn't make sense to swallow 10 pills and think that you are thin. It makes no sense. So if somebody likes to test it, I make them aware because of the situation. I said to him, you have to do at least 3 months. Why? Because stem cell therapy is changing your whole body. You can have more hair, your nails are growing, your condition is improving, your energy level. So everything can change in your body. But by the first person, everything is going like crazy, like me. And by another person, it takes some time, but it works. It's really unbelievable what is going on with those products, what can happen in your body. I was always sleeping, okay, no problem. But my urine was getting more because I drink more. And because I drink more, I have to go to the toilet more. And in the beginning, my urine was dark for a long period of time. So it's a detox. But I had no other detox than only my color of my urine. But some people have a detox reaction. It can be worse. Your illness or disease can be worse the few days. And because the change in your body, there is something changing dramatically because the nanotechnology in the patches works with daylight. The speed of light, it's 300,000 kilometers a second. That's also the same, the reaction in your body. So it's immediately everywhere. When sunlight is coming towards you on your body, then vitamin D will be made in your body. Everybody knows. But in sunlight, there is no vitamin D. So how can it work? How can it be that the sunlight is falling on your body and sunlight doesn't have vitamin D in it, but it will make in your body vitamin D? Because it makes a connection with your brains and your brains make the vitamin D. It's a biochemical process. And this is also a little sun under your clothes. It will pick the heat of your body, and it's a broad spectrum of light. Heat is light. And it changed in a small band, and it will return back into your body. And it is also starting a biochemical process in your body and give your mind the instruction to make copper peptide. And copper peptide is an amino acid. And that's the reason that amino acid, the copper peptide, is the fuel for stem cells. When you are born, you have a lot of stem cells, and they are active the whole day, 100%. And when you're getting older, the situation changed. The quality of the stem cells will going down. And that's because there is no copper peptide in the body. And if you activate the own stem cells by more copper peptide in your body, then everything is changing. I feel myself 10 to 15 years younger. This year, I will, in December, I am 61, but I'm in my body, I feel 45. And that's unbelievable. But I have such a power in my body, a lot of energy in my body. And you know, I am working at day, but also at night. And I have a few hours sleep a day, but I'm fired up. I have a lot of motivation in me to share everything what we are doing now. And if I have to do it within an hour, I do it all over again. I start all over again with another group because I have a mission. You can't lose because you have 30 days money back guarantee, 100%. So if somebody starts with this product, they will win because the benefits they will receive, or they will have their money back. And it's a nice experience. There is no lose. That's the reason everybody can test it, can try it, and there is no loss for you. Before I start selling my products, I always give them the proof up front. I send them the information from LIFEWAVE. I have an email. I asked, but when I start, I was very skeptical. So before I ordered, I asked them, I sent a letter to support. Okay, when I start and I like to return it, is it really that I can get my money back? I said, yes. And they give me the information in an email. And if I talk to somebody, I say to them, I don't like your money. I will help you. And I show you the proof that if you order the products, you will really get your money back, because I have an email sent by customer support. Will you have this email? And always people said to me, yes, of course, please send me the email. And I sent the email to them, and that will be also trustful. Oh, it's really, I can see, sent by to Christo Cornelissen, and all the explanation is written in that email. And then they say, okay, let's try it. And they order a big package. A lot of people like me don't believe what's going on. And it can't be that such a patch can do such a wonder in your body. I asked them, what have you done in the past for your disease or illness? And they tell me everything what they have done. All kinds of treatments for how many years. And then I asked them, did it solve your problem? No, it didn't solve my problem. Do you have a second option? Do you have a plan B? No, I don't have. Okay, if there is a solution that you can test it and you have 30 days money guarantee, 100% money back, are you willing to listen to my story? And most of the people say, yeah, okay, tell me what's going on. And then I explain, I tell my story to the people. And most of the people don't believe it. But I understand, it's normal, it's human, because I didn't believe it also. But within 5 or 10 years from now, it will be normal, because when the train starts in the street, in the world, and the car, everybody was thinking it was dangerous. And now it's normal. Buy products on the internet. Oh, strange. No, in the 90s, no, that never will happen. But we do now. Collecting money from the machine, no problem. Yesterday, we were eating in a restaurant and it was completely new. And I was angry about it. There was a Q&R code on the table and there was no people to help me. And they said, you have a telephone and you make a picture of the Q&R code, and then you can order your product and somebody will bring it and only have to pay by phone. So I said, it's like a drive-in. I don't like it. In Japan, there is a robot is coming to your table and ask do you like to order? We say, it's changed, it's crazy. But he collects the order and he brings the food, served the food on the table and said, okay, have a nice dinner. And it's a robot. We say, okay, it's crazy. But in Japan and Asia, it's normal. So in a few years, everything will change. And also the money on credit cards and debit cards. 20 years ago, nobody used credit cards. Nobody used debit cards. Oh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And now everybody does. So it costs time. And we are the crusaders and we are also the visionaries, and we have to spread the world. After 5 or 10 years from now, it will be normal. I think the LIFEWAVE company, within 3 till 5 years, we will reach $1 billion industry. And that's the reason I say, share this product with everybody and let them choose if they like to order your product or not. But give everybody a fair chance. Sometimes people said to me, it's nothing for my neighbor. It's nothing for my brother. I asked them, how do you know? Oh, I know, but you don't know. And at the moment you make a decision not to share the story and the possibility to somebody else, your brother, your neighbor, your mom, your dad, you robbed him really for an opportunity to change his own life. And the person who refused to give the opportunity is 100% responsible for that, in my opinion. It's an emotional product, and most people forget that it is emotion. People who are ill are that for many years. And you have to understand, I was one of them, that if you say to somebody in pain for many years, perhaps I have a solution, that they are very skeptical. So it's normal that people are skeptical. But now I have people in my organization who say no to me in the beginning, and now they are in my group. And I have also people who don't trust me in the beginning. Is it real? Is it really? Can it happen? But now they see my progress and my progress in my health, and they start now in my business. But it takes time. Sometimes it can take a longer period of time. And then a friend of you will start in this business. We bring value to the marketplace. And that's, for me, the most important thing. If you are in this business for money alone, you will lose always, because people will feel that you are hungry to get their money. But if you help people and ask people a lot of questions, and you are interested in other people, and then perhaps you have a solution for them, they get attention from you, they will like you, and then the relationship is built before closing a sale.
Right.
It's not about the sale, it's about the solution. So I always say to my people, don't sell the products, ask people a lot of questions and talk about an eventually solution for them. Don't be skeptical, because if you don't change anything and you don't try anything else, you will always have the same bad results you have at this moment. So why shouldn't you test it and try it by yourself? You have 100% money guarantee, a written guarantee upfront before you buy your product. You can ask a person who contact you about LIFEWAVE. And in that moment, I say, it sounds foolish for me now. Afterward, I can understand the feeling, because I was in the same situation. I was also very skeptical. But now, after 1 year and all the improvement I have received in my life, it sounds for me foolish not to do it and test it by yourself. Because do you have another chance? Another treatment? More years of treatment, going to the hospital, or do you like to have another life? And if you don't change it, nothing will happen. So if you like to have changes in your life, you have to do something special. And in my opinion, it is the best thing you can do for your own body and your own health. Test it. The worst scenario is it doesn't work, and then you get your money back. But imagine that if you start believing, when you start with the product and something changed in your body, what can be your change? Can you play with your children? Can you play with your grandchildren? Can you go out with your wife? Do you have a better quality of life? What is the worth for you for a better quality of life? And in my opinion, it's unbelievable. Some people ask me, what are the costs of the patches? And I always say, well, strange question. 1 year ago, I asked the same question. But I had such an improvement But nobody asked me, what are the results? What can the patches do for me? The first question is, what are the costs? I always ask them, what may the solution cost for you? If somebody say a few dollars a day, I say, okay, then we can do business. I ask people, my neighbor, I asked her, what costs a package of cigarettes? And she said, $10 a day. $10 a day? I was stunned. I was quit in the early years, and it was 3.5 guilders a day. And it was so an amount of money for me. I said, oh, that's too much. I quit. But now it's $10 a day. It's unbelievable. So when you smoke, it will ruin your body. And for a fraction of the cost, you can gain life. And I'm the living proof of that. I was coming from the dead because I was nearly dead. And now I'm full of life. So it's a fair chance. Pick your chance. Do it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Start immediately. Today is the day from the first day of the rest of your life. Start your new life. And that's the only thing I can say to everybody in the world. I'm so proud that my sponsor, my person who gave me the opportunity, gave me a telephone call and say, hey, I have something for you. Perhaps I can help you. Are you willing to listen to me? For the same, he refused to give me that telephone call. And I was still in pain. And I'm emotional about it because it's so unbelievable what you can do with your own life, but you can only make the decision by yourself. Nobody else can make the decision for you. Make this decision. Do it. It's valuable for you. It's life, it's energy. You can do everything what you want to do. Don't quit your medicine. If you need medicine, take your medicine. But medicine alone is not the solution. If it was the solution, all your problems were gone. But you have a problem. So medicine is not the only option. So in my opinion, you have to find another way. And I have found my way. And my way was LIFEWAVE. It changed my life.